going on? Ryan Ballcraft here, triathlon.com, making a quick little video talking about IRONMAN Des Moines, or IRONMAN 70.3 Des Moines. As you notice in the background, Des Moines 70.3 is coming back June 11th, 2023. To be determined on the full in Des Moines. So maybe the first one happened in 2022. I did that one. I've also done the 70.3 the first time it happened in 2021. So we'll see if the full comes back. I thought it was pretty good. It was a little bit hot, a little bit warm for both of them in June for that time of year. But we're going to talk about the vibe in the area in Des Moines, kind of the what gets you going to the venue, the people, all that kind of good stuff. So I just want to talk about the city overall and kind of how it kind of goes down. So basically, we got good old Des Moines, Iowa, and when you're looking in where the race was at, it was at Grays Lake Park, was the swim, and then over here is Waterworks Park, this is where it transitions at, and then if you look downtown, this is where the finish line was. You can zoom in a little bit and you can find our wonderful Hy-Vee area. It's convenient. Look downtown. You got your Hy-Vee right here, and then the finish line is right down this road. All this kind of good stuff. There's all kinds of good little stores, run houses on the so we'll touch on that a little bit. But for the 70.3 in 2021, I stayed over by the airport in a little Days Inn or whatever. It was affordable, it did the job. But there was a lot of driving back and forth, and I didn't feel as connected, I guess, to the event. Really, when you're out that far, there's really not much of a vibe about the race. Nobody's really talking about the race, nobody's really doing anything about the race. It's not like the race is even happening. But for the full, I did stay downtown, and I was close to Cal's Commons. So let me see if we can pull it up. So Cal's Commons right here. Stayed at the Renaissance Des Moines and was able to walk to IRONMAN Village right here in Cal's Commons. So that was convenient. It was a little bit pricier, but not too pricey. It wasn't totally crazy. If you book in advance, it's not that big of a problem, but it's nice to be there, to come over here, do check-in, get all your stuff. IRONMAN Village is right here, the welcome ceremony, everything was going on right here. The only catch is when you have to come drop off your bike and stuff. So that's one little thing about the race. It's a little bit difficult, even for the full and for the half. Everything transitions down here. It's a one transition area. The start is in here in the lake, but the finish line is downtown, so they have shuttles to get you back and forth and all that kind of fun stuff. But the only time I had to go over here was drop my bike off, and I helped with the IRONMAN University Become One initiative out there in the tent, answering any questions for athletes coming in, doing their first full Ironman in 2022. But other than that, at Grays Lake, they also had like an open water swim, so you can come down here. They opened up the parking area, so that was kind of nice. And for bike drop off, you can park along here, along these back roads and everything. And because in 2021, they made you park over here at the IRONMAN Business Center, walk your bike over, and that was kind of a hassle. So just keep that in mind. But I digress and look back. If you stay downtown, there's a YMCA here. There's a nice walkway system in between the buildings, so you didn't have to walk out on the streets. You could just walk over. There's plenty of parking. Everywhere they had plastered IRONMAN Des Moines signs. Downtown are really into it. They really encouraged you to be there. They're happy you're there. And it was really a good atmosphere downtown. I'll just say that. And especially when you went to Cal's Commons, you know, it was just nothing but IRONMAN. Like I said, it was a little bit warm, but it wasn't bad. And then they did, let's see if they have information, first race, finisher pick, athletes, registers, supporters, travel, partners. Let's see if they have that. They gave you a discount coupon for the restaurants. Let's see if they put that. Shop. No. Results. Travel. Maybe they put that in there for the restaurants. So they partnered with different restaurants that would accept the coupons that IRONMAN gave you for $25 off in food. So So Catch Des Moines, they had some good information on there. Restaurants, athlete, dine around. So this was a list of the restaurants that would take your $25 coupon. So it was kind of nice. I wanted to try Zombie Burgers and Drink Lab, but didn't make it over. We did Fong's Pizza. So if you stayed downtown, you'll walk right over here to Fong's Pizza. Now I will say, the pizza was good, but they gave me the wrong pizza to start with. So there was a little bit of a confusion, but once I got my pizza, it was good. They gave me credit and all that kind of fun stuff. But good food. It's just don't, if you're going to eat the night before the race, or pretty much in general, I wouldn't say go too late, because it does get, it was pretty packed and pretty busy, so we had to wait a little bit for the first round of food, and I had to wait a little bit longer for my correct food. So just keep that in mind, that it is going to be a little bit busy, especially downtown. But most of these restaurants are downtown, the Draft House, all these different restaurants. So for the 70.3, they might partner with the same people or something like that. Usually for 70.3, you're not going to get a dining ticket, so keep that in mind. So when you go through and you go to travel, for the half, let's just see, host city, accommodations. So they got accommodations and everything, but a little bit less. They don't have as many connections to downtown and food and stuff like that. So, but it's good restaurants. So I wouldn't say that they're like overly with the program as far as, you know, a 7.3 or a full Ironman, really understanding what's going on with their city. So just be aware of that. You know, the restaurant's not like gonna, you know, fall over themselves to serve you, whatever. But hey, they're nice people, and it's a great restaurant, good food. The other convenient thing is this Hy-Vee store is an actual grocery store. So if you stay downtown, we only had to walk 2 blocks over here to get groceries. I had to get a cooler because for whatever reason my hotel room did not have a mini fridge, and they were out. So we went down, got a cooler, we got ice, we got all kinds of stuff, got food. So we didn't have to eat out every night. So it's kind of nice to be able to have that convenience of an actual grocery store, not just some little knick-knack corner shop, you know, convenience store with overpriced food and stuff. It was actually like real food. It was kind of nice. So that's convenient if you're staying downtown, especially. You know, if you're staying outside of town, you know, it's got the standard, you know, grocery stores and stuff like that. So nothing too much to worry about there. But I did want to point out Fong's Pizza. I also want to point it out, right at the finish line, there's Insomnia Cookies. So I will give them a shout out because, let's see if he'll pull it up. Oh no, it won't pull up Insomnia Cookies. Here, we'll see. Insomnia Cookies. Gotta pull it up. Oh, here we go. Not named. We're in Iowa. So Insomnia Cookies, like right here at the finish line. It was nice. You can see all the photos and everything. They have cookies, they have ice cream. And I am a big, huge ice cream nut. Right there as you finish, come over. You can have some cookies, you can have some ice cream. Because the finish line food it was okay. Piemonte's, you would think that, you know, being a beef sponsor, they would have hamburgers and real food at the finish line. They had hot dogs and veggie burgers. So if you walk all the way back to Cows Commons for the finish line food, which is too bad, but the food was kind of questionable, like a lot of people had. So keep that in mind and disregard my dogs playing with bones in the background. For Insomnia Cookies, the only thing is they don't do cash, so make sure your Sherpa or whatever you got, your credit card or whatever, to be able to pay for your cookies or your ice cream, because they're really good stuff. And keep that in mind next time you head down there. So that's just my tip on where to eat after the race for a quick little, because when we all get done with like 7.3 or 4 Ironman or whatever, you're hungry and you want real food, and like I said, personally I'm an ice cream guy, so gotta keep that in mind. The other thing that's nice about Des Moines is it is the home of TJ Plexen, if I'm saying that right, and Diamond Bikes. So I did a nice little tour of their shop, and it is very interesting. They've got, and I'll post up pictures here of the process. They get their own carbon fiber in sheets. They store it there in a cooler. They take it out and mold it, and they have molds. injection molds, all kinds of stuff. They make everything there. They make the frames there. They make all the parts, the components, everything. And then they obviously import, hubs and that type of thing to build your bikes. But as opposed to other manufacturers that might get the frames built overseas and shipped in, and then they paint them and do whatever, they build them all there by hand with their people. And it's a little bit pricier than your standard usual bike, but the quality is definitely there. It was nice to be able to take a tour with TJ, who walked us around and talked to us and answered all our questions. It was great to actually have a place where there's that connection there of being a triathlete and doing these events, and someone has done them, and he's been part of, I think, key of getting a race here in Des Moines and trying to get Ironman to come do these races. He's retired, but he's been a professional triathlete for a number of years. So it was kind of nice. So overall, I kind of dive into this stuff because, the restaurants are good. Downtown's pretty good. During the race, it was great. They shut down a lot of the roads. There's restaurants, people were partying on the patios, and people were really nice and throughout the park. And, the locals came out and they were playing in the parks and stuff. Tons of volunteers. Overall, the city, especially downtown, seemed really happy we were there and really welcoming, really open. We walked around, we did some shopping and other stuff, so we tried to contribute to the economy, but we also, it's got the simple things like hygiene, like a grocery store, like downtown. So I will say for the vibe of Des Moines, downtown's really where it's at. If you stay outside of downtown, it kind of fades just a little bit because they're just not as connected to what's going on. But especially downtown and the businesses near Grace Lake and Waterworks Park, there's not any businesses around here. But if you're staying downtown where Ironman Village is at, a lot of those restaurants, a lot of hotels, they're all into it. Our hotel was totally into it. They knew why we were there. They understood. They're nice. I had friends with the checkout tickets, and they got my bike and my gear. My hotel put it in a nice safe room for me until I got back and got it. So that was kind of nice to just have that availability there and the convenience there. And the hotel was very willing to work with people, and they totally were there to help you and everything. So keep that in mind the next time you're looking at races. You're like, well, do I go to Des Moines? Do I not go to Des Moines? Had it been its typical, usual, spring weather in the 70s, it'd be great. It'd be perfect. But it was kind of almost 100 degrees at evening deck. I don't know why it's that warm for that time of June. Usually it isn't, but in the past 2 years it has been. That's the only drawback. The city really has no control over that. It just is what it is. But other than that, I would seriously, I'm a 3-hour drive, less than 3 hours. It's probably going to be one of my staple types of races. I love doing 7.3s, trying to get my Kona qualification via legacy program, so if the 4 comes back and I need it, it's there. So it's super convenient here in the Midwest to drive up to it. I definitely would recommend that you try to stay as close to downtown as possible, because then it becomes a little bit more, you catch the feeling a little bit more, rather than being outside of downtown where they understand and the hotels know what's going on and why you're there necessarily, but it's not as much of a push, not as much of a big deal. So with that, that's kind of my overview on 70.3 and the full Des Moines Ironman. Just kind of the vibes of Des Moines and the places that we went to, the places that kind of helped us out and that type of thing. So if you got any questions about it in general, just put them on there in the comments. If you see it on Facebook, it'll help you out. Give me a thumbs up, give it a like, subscribe on YouTube. Like I said, hit the comments if you got any questions. I'll answer any questions you got. If you think I should add anything, just let me know. And with that, I'm going to close out the video. Happy training out there, and we'll see you on race day.